Hey Siri, arm the Onvis security system.
Your Onvis security system is set to armed away. Hasta la casa, baby!
Greetings Internet, it's Dustin again with my HomeKit Home, bringing you all things Apple HomeKit, from news to how-tos to product reviews, just like this one. So if that's something that you're into, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and the bell notification so you don't miss out on any of our new videos as soon as they're released. Now, it does seem like security and safety and privacy are at the kind of forefront of the smart home nowadays, and HomeKit is no different, of course. And if you couldn't tell from the title of the video and from the intro there, today we'll be looking at the Onvis CS1 security alarm contact sensor. It's a bit of a mouthful, but I do think it's a pretty interesting product. So what we'll do in this video is we'll unbox it, we'll look at some of its features, and we'll maybe hopefully help you decide if it's the right sort of security system for you. Well, that about wraps up the intro. Let's go ahead and jump into the unboxing. Taking a look at the outside of the box, we'll notice that the security system has 4 different modes: home, away, night, and off modes, as well as built-in temperature, humidity, and contact sensor, which are all exposed to HomeKit. In addition to the HomeKit functionality, we also have data records, which are available through the Onvis Home app. This is a Bluetooth 5.0 device, and it does have 2 included AAA batteries, which will get you about 15,000 hours of standby time, which I think is pretty good. The device did arrive pretty well packed in dense foam, with the box being a hard card on the outside. Much better packaging and presentation than its brother in the Onvis SMS1 smart motion sensor. Alongside the unit itself, we do get a couple of extra adhesive strips, as well as some screws and masonry anchors if we want to more permanently affix the device to our door or window. We also have our included batteries, as we can see here, and an instruction manual which will outline how to perform a factory reset if you need to do so. But we've got a video on how to do that, which we'll link right up there. So before we get this bad boy mounted on our door, let's go ahead and set it up using the Onvis Home app, which you can see here in the App Store. So we'll go ahead and launch that, and we're taken into sort of a welcome screen here. We'll go ahead and allow all of the different permissions if you so desire. You definitely want to let it use your home data, because that's how it will be used in HomeKit, but you can allow for notifications if you'd like. Also here, once we go through our little welcome screen here, we notice that there is a page that shows off some of their devices, 2 of which are not on the market yet. One of them is an LED strip. The other one, interestingly enough, looks like a camera, so hopefully we see those soon. Landing on our home page here, we'll tap the plus button at the top right. We'll go ahead and scan our code, and from there it is the standard HomeKit pairing process. It takes just a few moments, and the device will be added to our HomeKit setup. Since it is a Bluetooth device, it doesn't take very long at all. And from here, we have 4 different devices that are exposed to HomeKit. We have the security system, we have the temperature humidity sensors, as well as the contact sensor. Of course, we can rename all of these devices. We can also choose which room we want them to be in, and that's really about it. So I'll leave all of that pretty standard for the purposes of this video. Now, I do believe Bruno wants to have a word with us, so let's see what he has to say.
Hey guys, Bruno here. So I just wanted to jump on and apologize. So you see, as Dustin was setting up this new device, I got really excited about it too, and since I don't really have opposable thumbs, I needed to grab it with my mouth, and so I started chewing on it a little bit, and so you may see it has a little bit of damage in the rest of the video, but Dustin tells me it still works fine, and I feel really bad about it, so I'm sorry guys.
Installing the CS1 was a breeze. I used the included double-sided tape, but you can use the screws if you so desire. Something that wasn't so easy, however, was getting a level camera angle. I'm not exactly sure what happened there, but I do apologize for that. One thing you don't see here is me cleaning the surface of the door and the door jamb with an alcohol swab to make sure that we have a clean surface for contact. Now let's look at some of the features that we have in the Onvis app. First, we'll have a look at the temperature sensor, and as you can see here, it's a cool 67.6 degrees in the dead of winter. Yeah, not too shabby. We have a little indicator there that is in blue to give us an idea that it is a little bit chilly, but not actually too bad. We also have the battery status indicator there, which is showing full because, well, I just installed the batteries. And we also see here that it does display the temperature in Fahrenheit. However, we can go into the app settings and change that over to Celsius, which I will be doing very shortly. I just prefer Celsius. You'll notice down there at the bottom that we also have our log. So although we can't really see it here because, well, I just installed the device, we do have a record of the last 100 readings of temperature. So that's pretty useful if you are into kind of data collecting in different areas, especially, you know, at a door. That can be a really useful set of aggregated information that you can then use to maybe make some adjustments to your weatherproofing. And the humidity sensor works in very much the same way. We have the relative humidity presented in a percentage, and it has the same sort of records. Let's go ahead and look at the contact sensor here, and this is a little less exciting. We can see the current status of the door, but we also have the records there that we can see when it was opened and closed, and as you can see, I've been testing it a little bit, so that's a pretty useful feature if you're trying to track what's going on with this contact sensor. Getting into the settings of the contact sensor here, we can of course change the name, we can change the room, we can adjust the time zone if we need to. We can also look at the battery status, we can see its charging state. Of course, this is not a chargeable device, so that's not actually applicable here. And of course, we can remove the device. Going back up to the top, which is the most important thing for me, is firmware updates. And I was happy to learn that there was a firmware update waiting for me. It's always a good thing. It shows that the company is really committed to improving the user experience. And from what I hear, Onvis is working on yet another firmware update, so stay tuned on my HomeKit Home for whenever that is released. I can say with relative certainty that nobody came here to see how this works as a temperature and humidity sensor. You probably came here for the security system. And here is the interface in the Onvis Home app. You'll notice that we have the 4 different modes. Stay, which is a home mode. We also have away, which is, well, self-explanatory. We have a night mode and then also the off mode. One thing that you'll want to be aware of is that the sensor must be in a closed position in order for you to change the arm setting of the device. So if you want to change it to home, off, away, or night modes, you'll want to make sure that the door, the window, whatever you have there is in a closed state for the contact sensor. So just like the temperature, humidity, and contact sensors of the CS1, we do get a log of the last 100 changes to the security system, whether it being armed, disarmed, or triggered. Hopefully you never need information on when the alarm was triggered, but it's nice to know that it's there if you need it. So let's see and hear the security system in action. So we'll go ahead and put it into home mode, and we'll open our door, and okay, so we have just a simple little door chime there, nothing crazy. Let's put it into away mode and open the door. There we go. So we have a pretty loud alarm there. It is about 120 decibels at its highest volume. Unfortunately, we're not actually able to turn off the alarm from either Apple's Home app or the Onvis Home app. So I'd like to see that come to a future firmware update. Let's put it into night mode and see what happens when we open the door. Okay, so we do have a bit of a different sound there. Again, we're not able to disable the alarm remotely, which I would like to see that happen again. But we can adjust the volume. There is a button on the front of the device, and we can also adjust the volume of the siren in Onvis's Home app. And finally, putting it into off mode, we can see that when we open our door, well, nothing actually happens, so the alarm is completely disarmed. Jumping back over to Apple's Home app, if we scroll up here, we'll see that we do have access to our other sensor data. And if we scroll up even further, we get into the settings where we can adjust the name of the device. We can see which accessories are actually included in it. See, I have mine here in one single tab, but we can separate them if we'd like. And we also have here the scenes that the device is included in. And here are some suggested scenes. We can see that we can actually add it to for example, a leaving home scene or a good night scene, which would then arm your security system, which I think I'm going to go ahead and leave it there. But we will be looking at some other ways that we can use security systems in HomeKit in a future video, so be on the lookout for that one. Well, it really does seem like recently security systems, privacy, and all of these things really are kind of the craze in HomeKit and really the smart home in general. You know, in the HomeKit realm, we've been seeing lots of new announcements from Abode, from Honeywell, from Aqara, of course. And, you know, Onvis decided to jump into the game with a pretty unique product in the CS1 security alarm contact sensor. You know, this is an all-in-one solution, and I think it's really applicable for maybe people who are living in an apartment. I really see that being pretty useful there. You know, there are some applications if, you know, for, you know, maybe greenhouses or sheds, or maybe you have a closet that you really don't want anybody in. I don't know what you're doing with that closet, but, you know, if that's something that you need, it might be a solution for you. You know, some of the downsides to it, though, especially in those kind of latter use cases there, is that it's Bluetooth, so the range needs to be there. You need to be within about 15 feet of a home hub, and, you know, a lot of times I just don't think that that's applicable. So I really think that the apartment sort of situation is really good because you are, you know, you're within close proximity to a home hub. The CS1 does have a few different modes. It has the home mode, the night mode, away mode, and off mode. And really the cool thing about all of those is you can actually set different automations and triggers to work with those. And we'll be looking at those a bit more in depth in a future video, so stay tuned for that. You know, the alarm on this thing is pretty darn loud, I have to admit. And annoyingly so, I've been hearing it far too much in order to make this video, but it is pretty loud. There was a pretty big downside to the Onvis CS1, and that was the phantom notifications, right? So at first I thought it was just the system kind of working out the bugs, and, you know, once it kind of got all the cloud stuff worked out, that, you know, we'd be in good shape. But as the days and kind of weeks went on, I started to realize that that wasn't actually the case, and that these notifications weren't really going to stop. So I went ahead and turned off the notifications, which is not something I really wanted to do. You know, and then I was thinking, well, maybe, you know, they're just phantom notifications and they're not actually arming and disarming my security system without me doing so. And that actually wasn't the case either. In fact, if I was away from home, or if I am away from home, because they still haven't fixed the update yet, the security system disarms itself, which for me, and I'm assuming you as well, is kind of not something you want in a security system. You want to leave home, arm your security system with the peace of mind knowing that it's going to at least stay armed. So that's something I did reach out to Onvis about it, and they said they are working on the firmware update along with some other, you know, new features that will be coming to the CS1. So hopefully they'll be rolling that out pretty soon. You know, it's at a pretty good price. You get, you know, a temperature sensor, humidity sensor, contact sensor, and the security part of it for, you know, less than $50. That's pretty darn good if you ask me. And it might really be useful to know what the temperature and the humidity are, you know, say at a door for, you know, for my application there. You know, the CS1 is a pretty niche product, but if it's something that you need, I'd say go ahead and you know, go for it. If you're, you know, again, if you're looking to kind of put a little bit of security maybe on a room, or if you're, like I said earlier, in an apartment, I think it's a really good application in those situations. And you do have the added benefit of the added sensors there, so that's pretty nice. Well, yeah, that about wraps up my thoughts on the Onvis CS1 security alarm contact sensor. If you have any questions about it, or if you have any comments, you want to know anything about it that I might be able to help you with, go ahead and let me know in the comments down below. Also below the video in the description box, you'll find a link to pick up the Onvis CS1 security alarm contact sensor. If you do decide to use our link, it will go to helping the channel out, and we very much appreciate it. Also in that there description box, you'll find links to our social media on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, as well as a new and improved blog over at myhomekithome.com. I've been hard at work the last few weeks, and by few weeks I mean really the last 3 months, and getting the site back up and running and kind of migrating everything over, and I'm pretty proud of what's going on over there, so I do recommend that you check that out. As always, if you found the video useful, you can let us know by giving us a big thumbs up, and if you're interested in more HomeKit related content, don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell notification so you don't miss out on any of our new content as soon as it's released. Well, that's a wrap on another one. I do thank you for watching, and until I see you in the next one, this has been Dustin with My HomeKit Home.